Teach an old dog new tricks.com. More than 40 hours of free computer training. Sit, stay, and learn. Thank you. Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Holowitz, and I want to talk to you about getting started with QuickBooks. In other words, creating your first company file within QuickBooks. Typically when you start with QuickBooks, if you've never used it before, you'll be prompted to start a new company. Because I've already used QuickBooks, I had gone up and clicked on File and then New and started the process of a new company. This screen popped up. I'm going to come down here and click on Create a New Company because we're going to create a company for the purpose of this training. Now, on this note, I want you to be aware of the fact that many of you won't even have to go through this because you might be working in QuickBooks after someone set it up. For a small business who's setting it up, keep in mind that my approach here for this training class is not to look at this from an accountant's point of view. My goal is to set it up so that it's easy to understand, so that as a student of these classes, you can go through this information and not be overwhelmed with a lot of the details. In other words, I look at this from a teacher's point of view versus an accountant's point of view. In my opinion, an accountant would give very detailed if he or she were to set this up for you. Where from my point of view, my goal in this training is to get you to use QuickBooks. If you're overwhelmed or confused by all the details, you'll most likely find it harder to start using QuickBooks. It's my belief that the real key to getting good at QuickBooks is just starting to use it because you learn so much by doing. So that's why I'm going to take you through some of these steps. Again, you might be here and you might not really need this, but it'll sort of give you a sense of the way QuickBooks is designed for non-accountants. It's designed for people that just need to use the software to keep track of their business, expenses and invoices and things of that nature. So again, my approach is from a teacher's point of view, not an accountant's point of view. I'm going to click on Express Start because we're just going to go through this rather quickly. And at this point, it's going to prompt you for some information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this out and just walk you through it. And I'm going to call this business that we're going to be dealing with for the purpose of this training is Tony's Ice Cream. Okay, I'm going to call it Tony's Ice Cream, just like that. Now, I'm going to hit the Tab key to go down to the next field. And for the industry, I can put an industry in. I can click over here to help us choose. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call it Retail. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to do this. Because we're going to be selling it to people that will create ice cream or have their own stores, I'm going to call it Wholesale Distribution and Sales. That's what it's recommended that we do. Now the company type, let's see. Let's just say it's a sole proprietorship for right now. Just an individual. The tax ID, we can leave this blank, but this would typically be your federal ID number or your social security number, something of that nature. Again, keep in mind I'm not an accountant, and a lot of this stuff isn't that relevant to what we're going to do. I'm going to click on Continue. At this point, it's going to ask me for some information, so at this point I'm just going to pause the settings and fill this out, so bear with me for a moment. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I filled out this information. We're calling it Tony's Ice Cream, 123 Main Street, and as you can see, I have all the information here. And at this point, after I've filled this in, I'm just going to come over here and click on Create Company File. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now that we've gone through that step, QuickBooks has opened a new company file, meaning this is where we're going to put all our information. Now, again, one of the things you can do is you can start putting information in advance by adding certain things, such as the people we do business with, products and services, and our bank accounts. But I'm not going to do that because the purpose of this is to teach you how to do some of these things by working on it immediately. So what I'm going to do is just come down here and click on Start Working. And in a couple seconds, we'll see something will open up for us to start working. What we're going to see is the home screen. And the home screen actually has some information on it that allows us to scroll around and see different things that are new. As a new QuickBooks user, they offer you the ability to learn how to do things through their software. You can click on different things, for example, right here to see videos on how stuff works, but obviously this is the video. So at this point, I'm going to pause. We're going to move on to our next video and talk about creating your first invoice, because I think that's a great place to start. And through that, we will start looking around QuickBooks. My name is Tony Holowitz. Thank you so very much for being here. Have a great day.